Good morning, Sugar Shack family. Just a quick reminder before we start the sourdough video. These videos are meant to be easy so that the person who is relying heavily on processed foods can quickly remix and start making dinner at home. So the point of this video is to encourage us to just make bread at home, particularly sourdough bread, which is better for the gut. So that being said, the more you make the bread, the better the outcome. I could tell you how to do it, but the truth is sometimes I make amazing sourdough bread and sometimes I don't. The outcome of sourdough bread will vary based on the temperature of your house, the age of your starter. There are many things. I just started a starter when I got back to Louisiana, which was weeks ago. And so I just don't think my starter is startering the way that I want it to be. So the bread is still good. Keep making it and yours will get better. Play around with it. Find something that works for you because these things are all very individualized. The most important thing is make bread. So enjoy the next video. We can make that making sourdough bread. So far, I've added the water, 375 grams, the starter, 100 grams. I actually went a little bit over to 120. This is the 500 grams of flour, and I am about to add the 12 grams. Of salt. Then we will mix this up. And so now that we have it mixed up, we are going to cover it. I am going to add a damp towel over it for 30 minutes. Okay, so the dough has sat for 30 minutes, and now we're gonna start a process called lift and fold. So we grab the edges, we lift, and we fold. Lift and fold. Lift the edge, fold to the center. Lift the edge, fold to the center. Lift the edge, fold to the center. I'm gonna do this about 10 times. Lift the edge, fold to the center. Lift the edge, fold to the center. Lift the edge, fold to the center. So we're gonna do this process multiple times during the next 4 hours. So every 30 to 45 minutes, I am going to come and I am going to lift and fold the bread. I told you in the beginning, making sourdough bread is an all-day process. So I left, went to the movies, went to get a bite to eat, and here I am back. I've removed my bread, my dough from the refrigerator, and I am about to just shape this bread, put it back in the refrigerator, go to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning, I'll bake the bread. But if you just take a look at the dough, this is the dough removed from the refrigerator, and I am just going to shape it. I have this trusty little blade here. It helps us to move the sourdough around. But what I am going to do is fold this over, kind of flatten it out, and then I'm gonna roll it like this. And the goal is to be tightening it, right? Like we need the outer piece to be tight. And so I'm going to then, once I get it to where I want it, I'm gonna turn it over and kind of twist these bottom pieces because, again, we want it to be tight. So I have it in my floured Banneton bowl. That's what this is, and it will sit in the refrigerator overnight. I'm putting it in the refrigerator to let it do this final rise. Helps us to enhance the flavor. It'll be a little bit more flavorful. This allows me to let it rise while I go to sleep, and I'll wake up in the morning and I will bake it. This is the next morning. Now we're ready to bake. Here we have a cast iron pot, Dutch oven, the top. So when you make sourdough bread, the boule, then you want to have a portion of the baking time with the top on. It steams it. It allows moisture to be in the inside, and then a portion with the top off. I have to look in the oven and see where my bread is. It's like when I'm cooking, I have times, but I also have my eyesight. So that's what I do. So let's take a look at this dough that was in the refrigerator all night. This mat is going to make it super easy for me to just pick up my loaf, right? So I am going to pick up my loaf and just place it in this Dutch oven. I do have the scoring device, which is when you make beautiful little shapes on your bread. Instead, I'm gonna do this easy. I'm gonna use these scissors, and I'm just gonna do some cuts like that. And we'll see how that turns out. I'm gonna put my top on and off to the oven. Now it has been 25 minutes, and I am taking the top off of the Dutch oven now. I am going to reduce the temperature from 450 to 400 and bake it for another 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, the bread is out the oven. You see it, you see it. We gotta let it cool. Give you that round check. But we're gonna go ahead and let that cool, but it is done. Did I hear fresh bread? You did hear fresh bread.